What is not a religion, but people treat it with the same attention? What can somebody say/do that makes you immediately hate them? What are teens today not ready to hear? Things will likely take significantly longer to achieve than you think. You're closer to being the older person in any given setting than you think. And by old, I mean like 30. Got nieces and nephews just starting kindergarten? Blink and they're starting college. Just because it's new to you doesn't mean it's new. Being controversial isn't the same as being interesting. As you get older, you just keep realizing how dumb you were last year. That's true. I mean, I just turned 23 and my God, what was I doing as a 22-year-old? One day you too will be old and uncool, and it'll happen faster than you think. Not everybody can be an internet sensation. Somebody has to drive the dump truck. That one's kind of put downy. Like, yeah, you can still try, but just know it might not happen. Putting every aspect of yourself online is unsafe. Nobody needs to know your list of triggers or your address or your blood type. Some Twitter bios are long enough to be in a Star Wars intro. Just know whatever you put in your bio, people can use as ammo to bully you, so be careful. In the adult world, getting into fights doesn't make you look cool. It just makes you look stupid. Unless you're like an MMA fighter, then sure, technicality. How will the UK cope with the Queen's passing? She will respawn at a randomly appointed location and Charles will never be king. Promote a pawn to a new queen? I guess Elton John will have to repurpose another old song. Maybe Crocodile Rock? Charles will be so excited to finally be king, he'll kick over from a heart attack. I would feel bad for Prince Charles. Guy waited 73 years for his first job. Must be rough. Put the fucking kettle on. What is the most annoying fan base? This will probably get buried, but back in 2012 to 2015, I was in the creepypasta fandom. The people in that fandom were psychotic. It was crazy. The fan base of RuPaul's Drag Race is pretty notorious for sending death threats to the hardworking, talented people they're supposed to be a fan of. As a fan myself, yeah, Drag Race fans are rotted, gutted, boot nasty, disgusting K-pop fans who take things a bit too far. I had friends who'd have fights over who is worthy to be called the wife of one of the K-pop idols. No, they weren't joking. Politicians' fan base. The only political fan base I see is like, I guess Trump, but ugh. Sonic fans are always a gamble. They can be so goddamn wholesome and nice, but then you got the fucking weirdos. I don't mean the kids who make fan characters. I personally don't know why they are hated. I find it to be wholesome seeing kids make art based off their interests. I'm talking about the people who rage over any criticism towards the games, comics, developers, etc. Serial killer fans. With the new wave of true crime being popular, I don't understand. Like, they killed people, y'all. I like the game Undertale and its sequel, but holy shit, the community. I'm put off by any fan base that is a collective name, the Beehive, and so forth. In almost every case, it feels really forced. Football, soccer, Twitter is full of dickheads too. The further away from the team's home ground they live, the worse they get. Any fan base of a show that has shipping wars can go to hell. Well, I don't know why you don't like Shipping Wars. It's a good reality TV show about truckers who haul weird items in their big old trucks. Those people who romanticize Harley Quinn and the Joker's relationship, please find a different standard. It's a bad relationship. Which celebrity's career is basically over? R. Kelly. Don't see a comeback album on the way. Isn't he still in jail? Like, I mean, as he should be? Allison Mack. I don't know about her, so maybe her career never happened? I was expecting this to be full of interesting celebrities I had long forgotten about, but instead, this is just a depressing list of garbage humans. That curly-headed guy was on 70's Show. Guess he's been toast for a while. Yeah, Daniel Masterson is garbage. Yeah, he doesn't deserve a comeback, honestly. Celine Dion. My understanding is that she's suffering from neurological issues and is seriously looking at retirement. Bill Cosby. Unfortunately, the way Hollywood works, I feel like we will still see more of them. Steven Seagal. No, his career's still going. I mean, if he can keep pumping movies out that he writes for himself, then yeah, he's still got a career kinda. Bam Margera. I used to look up to the guy. I skated because of him. Watched Jack for him and loved CKY because of him. Now I just cringe at everything he's become. Kevin Spacey. His mainstream career is over, but I think I heard he made a movie recently. I don't know how or why. Cops of Reddit. What is is the saddest thing a criminal has said. I nicked a guy for attempted murder once. I had met him before a few times, usually when he was a suspect. He just said, even now, you're still the closest thing I've got to a proper friend. Ex-cop, speaking to a juvenile in the cells with a buttload of warrants for stealing cars and armed robberies, told me the only way he could get toys is if he stole them, and his parents would never help him with his homework but showed him what to say to get free McDonald's and how to avoid getting caught shoplifting. Some kids have no hope and are just going to end up in the system. Not a cop, but served as an infantryman in Afghan in 2011 to 2012. Was on patrol pretty much doing cop work sometimes. We'd go door to door or compound to compound and our lieutenant would talk to locals with our translator. During one of the meetings, I was inside working as a sort of guard for my lieutenant. The guy he was talking to came up positive for gun trace residue and was a confirmed Taliban in the eye scanner thing we had. When my lieutenant questioned him before we detained him, he told my lieutenant that he didn't want to fight us, but if he didn't, the Taliban would kill his family. I was 18 to 19 and my lieutenant was 24 to 25. Now I'm 29 and I realized that war was all f***ed. What is a subtle sign someone isn't a good person? All their exes are crazy and nothing negative is ever their fault. When they see someone else's progress or success as a threat, they have a habit of talking bad about other people behind their backs and spreading gossip and rumors. You can tell a lot about a person by observing how they talk about their peers behind their back. When a person occasionally vents by talking bad about someone, like their boss or classmate, because of some unpleasant experience, that's okay. We all do it. But when a person habitually talks about people behind their backs, that's a big red flag. They believe that respect is earned, but demand it immediately from you, not owning up to their mistakes and always attributing it to someone or something else. Someone who is incapable of reflecting. They are the center of their own universe. They are unable to grasp the big picture or how they fit within it. Everyone has a place in the larger picture, which is their small view of the world. They share private information about others with you. 100% if they're sharing to you, they're sharing about you as well. Passively aggressively insulting you in front of a group of people in such a way that you can't say anything back without looking like you're the emotional one, even though you know that they intentionally insulted you to disrespect you. Littering. It's not a violent act or anything, but it does indicate a lack of respect that usually carries into other aspects of the person's life. If you litter, never speak to me. Just hold your trash till you find a can. Not hard. Casual, unnecessary lying. They're only nice when things are going their way. Yeah, that just speaks on, they're kind of entitled and stupid. Gamers of Reddit. What video game didn't live up to the hype? Oh, for me it was Assassin's Creed Unity. I loved the series, and then I tried Unity years after it came out, and it was so buggy. I was like, how? It's been so long. Cube World. Jump Force. How can you have access to that many cool characters and still suck so bad? For me, it was Brink. Promised a lot, and it partially delivered, but the player base just wasn't there, and it didn't gain any momentum. My 2 cents is Anthem and the Avengers. Jump Force flopped so hard. Ugh. Even the art style was kind of gross. Everything was like pseudo-realistic, but they're still anime, so come on, it clashed. For me, it's gotta be Brink. Not sure if many people remember it, but it was touted as a revolutionary new shooter with parkour-style movements and turned out to be a piece of crap. Thankfully, Titanfall 2 kinda came around with that. Every single Sims 4-pack, even the great ones, can't compare to their ads. Evolve. I remember a pretty big hype for that game, only for it to die literally 2 days after release. Halo Infinite. Great bones, zero meat. What a disappointment. Still no Forge, co-op, custom games browser, or mission select/replay nearly a year after launch. And they just announced the cancellation of split-screen co-op. Total disgrace on 343's part. Did Zach write this? Because Zach really likes Halo. What franchise has been milked to death? MTV's Teen Mom. Although they still act like teenagers, the moms are in their 30s. A better question would be what franchise hasn't been milked to death? Something like 9 out of 10 blockbusters these days are remakes, sequels, rehashes, etc. Certainly nothing Netflix has created. Get hooked on a show with solid potential and bam, it's canceled. Grey's Anatomy. For God's sakes, just end it. All of them. We need new shit. The only problem with that is that studios try making new things, they don't get received too well, and then they go back to what makes them money. Fast and Furious. More like Family and Furious. Sounds more like Thanksgiving to me. Ben 10. I enjoyed the first 3 shows. 4th one is mixed for me, but that 5th show, which is that reboot that came after, was unnecessary and just shows that Cartoon Network is reliant on making money from Toy toy sales rather than telling a good story from that reboot. The Walking Dead. I still can't believe it's still going. Like, obviously it's an apocalypse, how is it gonna end? It's not. They just gotta kill everyone, please. GTA 5. Yeah, I mean, I guess it was a way to deflect that they were taking a long time to work on 6, but after these leaks, we are never getting GTA 6. Call of Duty. I can't believe that they're releasing Modern Warfare 2 again. How are you getting away with this? Name one that hasn't at this rate. What's the scariest movie you've ever seen? Ooh, tough question. I'm subscribed to 4 streaming services, and the top 9 movies listed here are unavailable. We're past the golden years of streaming now, aren't we? Absolutely, we're past the golden years. Soon we're gonna get a company that's like, hey, here's a streaming box with everything in it. And then we're back to cable TV. For some reason, The Exorcism of Emily Rose f***ed with me. Got anxiety watching it. Threads. It will f*** your day up. It's the scariest film I've seen, and it's not technically a horror. Competition is not even close. And I watch a ton of horror. The original, Wreck. Wreck 2 has my scariest scene in any movie. The movie is pretty much just build up to it, but the tall, lanky, weird creature crawling out of the bathtub and creeping after the people who are wearing night vision goggles and can't see it, oof, that is just utterly terrifying. Okay, I've scrolled long enough. The original Candyman. Watched it at a sleepover in 3rd grade, and I've hated horror movies and bees all the way through to my late 30s. At the time I saw it, 28 days later. I don't know why I've been slacking, because I still haven't watched this one. I've heard mixed things. Free Solo. Highly recommend this one. It's a great documentary. Think Breath of the Wild climbing a big mountain, but a dude did that and did it on El Cap without any ropes. It is terrifying to watch that. The Ring. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. The Ritual. Lost in Woods. Freaky psychological stuff happens. Devilry/witchcraft. Great gore and suspense. 10 out of 10. Sinister. Not just scary, but deeply disturbing too. Well, I've got a pretty good watch list for this Halloween. What is the biggest scam in the history of mankind? Capitalism? But we can't say that. Oops. The wedding industry is one big scam. Telling me to figure out my own taxes. Then they tell me I did it wrong. If you know how much I owe, just tell me and I'll pay. Still crazy we don't have like a tax class in high school, since it's basically required to live. Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard is quite a fascinating man to learn about. Terrible, terrible man. He began lying at a young age and then never stopped afterwards. Becoming a billionaire out of that creepy cult-like religion is the biggest scam of all time. There's actually a really good documentary by Louis Theroux. It's called My Scientology Movie. Definitely check it out. It's pretty creepy. Printer ink. I think I saw it's cheaper to buy a new printer than it is to replace your ink. The ads that claim to be interactable, but when your finger barely touches the screen, it takes you to App Store. That, or even the ones with like a fake X, so you can't even close it. You press the X too early and then it brings you to the App Store anyway. Textbook access codes that you get after buying a new textbook and can use only once. Payday loan companies. Be very cautious when you see these ads. Just because you're not getting free $300, you have to give it back once you get your paycheck. Diamonds. I never understood the hype. Diamonds are kind of just boring, other than in Minecraft. Health insurance. $20K a year for something I hope I don't have to use. But if I do use it, another $3,000? Herbalife. Wasn't that a big MLM? I don't remember. Don't quote me on that. What forbidden thing do you want to do? Pet all the animals at the zoo. Go to a school or any communal building at midnight and wander around. Open every door and explore everything. Weirdly, I agree with that. Like something about empty buildings is really cool and creepy. Slap the shit out of some politicians. Yup, they deserve it. I don't know where they get off thinking that they're better than us. Go into all the doors marked employees only and authorized personnel only. I'm sure most of them are boring on the other side, but I want to know. Climb up the pyramid in Egypt. Gru? Tour Area 51. I really don't think there's anything that crazy at Area 51. It might just be a regular military base. I've always wanted to hit someone around the face with a fresh salmon. Well, technically, if you work at Pike Place Market in Seattle, you can throw fish at people. So you'll get kind of close. Steal enough so that I never have to worry about money again. Do be careful to not be caught, because then you will have to pay for everything and then money will still be a problem. What album do you consider perfect from beginning to end? Because I'm stupid, I don't really listen to a lot of albums just front to back, so I will be useless in this one. What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. Purple Rain. Prince is a classic. Wish wish you were here. Pink Floyd had so many bangers. Mezzanine by Massive Attack. Talking Heads, Stop Making Sense. Also the acme of all Lives albums. The Downward Spiral by 9 Inch Nails. Doolittle by Pixies. Disintegration by The Cure. I will never get bored of that album. Wu-Tang, Enter the 36 Chambers. Nas, Illmatic. Discovery by Daft Punk. Looks like I have a lot of homework to do. What is something you will never tell your parents? Seeing them so miserable together is the main reason why I don't ever want to marry. My mom's cheesecake is just not that good. Everyone praises her and tells her it's the best thing they've ever had. They've even gone so far as to tell her to sell them. It's just not it. I can never tell her, though, how much it hurts when they degrade my success. No, I think that is something you should bring up with them, because if they're not proud of you, then screw them. I died on the table. They didn't know. I died for a short while, and I'm back. That I know my dad is not my real dad. Found old letters in my mom's things. The man that raised me will always be my dad. That they're the reason I keep everyone at a distance emotionally. I can't open up because every time I did when I was younger, I was just yelled at. That I'm familiar with them, not friendly. Every encounter with them is soul draining on almost every level. That using me as a family therapist from the age of 7 to 8 is part of the reason I'm so effed up now. Kids should be kids, not someone you tell all your family, money, and adult problems to. Nice try, Mom. Damn, every time I'm falling for it. How do you get under a narcissist's skin? Gray rock technique. I don't know if it was specifically designed to deal with narcissistic people, but it works wonders on people with NPD or just narcissistic traits. If they say, I just won an award that's only given to a handful of people, I really don't work that hard, fishing for compliment, though, teehee, you just say, that's cool, and nothing more. They'll try another line or two, so you may have to repeat the process. Don't try to, just ignore them. You win some battles by not fighting them. Ignore them. It is kind of the biggest way to deal with them. They crave attention. If you don't give it to them, oops. Start communicating with the other people they manipulate. Narcissists will often pit people against each other. They like to keep the people they lie to separated so they don't communicate with one another and possibly figure out they're being manipulated. When you start communicating with them independently, it takes away the narcissist's feeling of power and control. You can send a narcissist into full panic and mental breakdown that way. Give them zero attention. That will drive them insane. My father is a narcissist. Ignoring them will almost certainly get under their skin and even make them angry. Hot damn, I think my mom's one. She loves pushing people's buttons till they snap at her, then acting like she's been wronged. But it totally enrages her if you don't engage her baiting game. What do you wish you were really good at? A lot of things, but let's see what people said. Making friends. I don't think anybody knows how to do this. Making money. Yeah, again, everyone wants to do this. Playing the piano or a guitar. I'm 56. There is no reason for me not to try, but instead I waste an hour on Reddit finding work that both satisfies my soul and pays handsomely. The quality of life is just so poor when you hate your work, and life sucks so bad when you're just scraping by money-wise. I've been seeking this holy grail my whole life. Still haven't found it. Well, I'm rooting for you, because I'm in the same boat. Languages. Yeah, it would be nice if I spoke multiple languages, because being limited to English is kind of bad. Singing. Love to do it, but sound like a dying cat. At least you're aware. Stop procrastinating. Is this what you wish you were good at, or are you telling me? Not caring what others think. It is a beautiful skill once you get it. What's your profession's myth that you regularly need to explain it doesn't work like that to people? Child welfare investigator here. My job isn't hard for the reasons most people think. Constantly being exposed to and interviewing abused children. It's hard because 90% of the time, it's just disgruntled exes calling on each other over nothing. And dealing with grown adults' drama is exhausting AF. Your terminally ill grandmother isn't becoming addicted to her pain medication. She's dying in as much comfort and with as much dignity as we can provide. I work in a hardware store, and apparently people think we have a huge underground storage big enough to hide every product in existence. No, I can't just go and fetch a part for your 20-year-old fireplace or power tool from the back room. Antibiotics don't work on viral diseases. I don't know why people would challenge that. Listen to the medical professionals. There aren't just buckets of grant money available for your wacky idea. You have to have a track record, an organization, a plan, and a budget. It's highly competitive. Okay, Shark Tank, whatever. Being a car mechanic that specializes in a couple of cars, we don't know everything about how to fix the car out of our heads. We use YouTube a lot to figure out stuff we don't know. When someone finds out you're an accountant, 90% of the time they will say, "Great, Great, so you can help with my taxes. There are loads of accountants who may never see taxes in their day-to-day and have minimal knowledge from their certification only. Retail. If an employee tells you they're sold out of that hot sale item, they're sold out. They're not hoarding them in the back room because f*** you. They know they're sold out because you're the 10th person to ask about it in the last 20 minutes. It's not dinosaurs we're looking for. It's the remains of human activity. No, we didn't find any gold. Just because I'm a psychologist doesn't mean I'm immune to psychological disorders or distress. Do keep in mind, therapists have therapists. Like, nobody's perfect. Video production. Your only options in the edit are what the camera captured. What is absolutely necessary for your mental health? For me to eat a soft pretzel at least once a month. Sleep. Okay, yeah, that is actually the better answer than mine. Changing your physical surroundings, even if it means just going to a different room. Yeah, the repetitiveness of just staying in your room nonstop, it can be very draining, even if you're an introvert. Take breaks. But you forgot we live in a capitalist society. People can't take breaks. They must work until they die. Support from family, friends, coworkers, anyone you can trust in your corner who will be there for you when you need them. Spending time alone and being able to go outdoors. A clean living space. I don't think they're really saying make it perfectly spotless, because if you just clean up the clutter a little bit and it's a little bit fresher, then your mind kind of clears a little bit. Limiting the amount of news I allow myself to see. In the past few years, yeah, gosh, there's just nothing good. Humor. Without it, I'd drown in self-pity. Listen to music. Music is super therapeutic. Exercising. No, I see you, Big Jim. I'm not getting a membership. You can't make me. What are the advantages of being a man? Well, the world is pretty much built for us, so whoops. Shorter line in restrooms. Pockets. I still feel bad for every woman that has to buy women's jeans. Like, how? What is the point of not having pockets? Writing your name in the snow is a lot easier. Oh, you dirty, dirty boy. Chance to become Pope. Yeah, but who wants to be Pope? Come on. We never get sand in our Virginias. I guess that's true. In a weird, gross way. Nobody asks you to watch their kids. Ever. Not completely true, but yeah, for the most part. It's better than being a horse. I don't know. What do you mean? What are you talking about? I like that we can fly. Hey, buddy, can you tell me how we do that? Because I didn't know that. The size of pockets on female clothing is a effing crime. Yeah, like it's an insult. They have the outline and it looks like a pocket, but then it's just not. It's not a pocket. Not bleeding in agonizing pain once a month seems like a big advantage. I mean, I could just come up and stab you a few times every month. Dad jokes are probably the biggest advantage known to man. Everywhere can be your toilet. Well, yeah, women can do that too. They just can't be fully standing, I guess. Moonlit walks by yourself are just lovely. Are you saying women don't like moonlit walks by themselves? Yeah, yeah. If you get into any problem, you can just helicopter away. Just like how I'm gonna helicopter away from this question. Oh God. What are Americans not ready to hear? Fingernails scratching on an upstairs window coming from outside at 3 a.m. The entire world excels at making bathroom stalls that you can't see between. Not sure why the US stall manufacturers can't figure out how to close those massive gaps. I think it's designed so people can't do drugs in there, but it's so stupid. Don't let them see me poop. It's really weird how you guys glorify your politicians. Wearing merch of a politician? Very, very strange. I heard someone say that the way we look at Florida is the same way the rest of the world looks at us. Mexico is not in sepia lighting. Any foreign country for that fact. We do that for everywhere. Working 80 hours a week isn't something to brag about. Sure. Go ahead. Brag that you're overworking yourself to death. 5 hours of yak noises. Profit-based healthcare is wrong on so many levels. You let food companies put in whatever crap preservatives they want and make up weight with artificial sweeteners instead of real ingredients. That's the biggest threat to your life, not secret communists. America's definitely not ready to hear all of that, but they should be. What can somebody say/do that makes you immediately hate them? If you call my dog by the wrong name or call him fat, only I'm allowed to do that. You're not allowed. Knock it off. Litter. Yeah, I mean, it screams that I'm a bad person. Be a story one-upper. Gross. Yeah, can I just have this one little story? Don't tell me about how you're so much cooler than I am. When they talk down to someone/ treat them like they're stupid just annoys me to no end. I'm an alpha male. Thanks, now I know I should avoid you. When they say, my truth, no. People who are always right and won't listen to both sides of an argument. People who front themselves as very positive and non-judgmental, but are the exact opposite. When women patronize me while I'm with my daughter. If my daughter is with me and I'm clothes shopping with her, sometimes women will make dumb remarks like, Daddy having trouble shopping without Mom? Or, Mommy having a spa day? The idea that men can't possibly parent without Mom infuriates me. The type of people who always cut you off when speaking about anything. They have garbage awareness. They could be aware of it, they just don't care. What is not a religion, but people treat it with the same attention? Brands in general. People praising Adidas, Apple, Hugo Boss, etc. The diehard Apple fans are scary, but they do have a lot of money, so I guess I can't complain. Mommy groups started getting completely out of hand when my kids were teenagers. I'm a crunchy mom. I'm this kind of mom, or that kind of mom. Those people get rabid. How dare you listen to advice given to you from a doctor about your individual child? My group thinks this. Hearsay. Blasphemy. We will crucify you. They used to be helpful. Now they are a fucking cult. Influencers. I don't understand the hype in influencers. Like, they just take sexy pictures and sell you things. How are you falling for it? In India, cricket. I know what cricket is. I have no idea how the game works. Disney. Especially when you go down to Florida. Some MLM schemes. It's honestly sad seeing a lot of people dedicated to these total scams. Celebrity worship. It's cool to like a celebrity, but if you have a full shrine of them, never approach them in person. Obsession with a famous person or persons. Again, it's like, live your own life. It's cool to like them, but just leave them alone. Homeopathy. With how you spelled that, what did you just call me? Fish. It's not spelled like regular what is this? What's a trade secret you know from working the industry? Yes, break your NDAs, let's go. If you call a call center of any kind and the person you're talking to puts you on hold with no hold music, they can hear everything you're saying. I worked in an insurance call center when I was really young. I had so many people accidentally confess to insurance fraud that way. Vinegar is the best thing to get your cutlery shiny in a restaurant/bar. When you shop at Walmart, do you sometimes hear the announcement saying security cameras to zone 6 or another number? They play them randomly in the hopes that someone who might be stealing will get paranoid thinking they're being watched and will decide not to shoplift. Arcade crane games have knobs inside that let you control how strong the claw grabs. So you basically make the claw really weak strength, and then there's a setting in the motherboard to make the claw go full power after a certain amount of plays. Whatever the arcade or owner decides how often they want people to actually win. As a freelance photographer, most magazines and newspapers don't pay you for using your photos. They offer you photo credit only. If you ask to be paid, they just get a similar photo from someone else. If you ship through FedEx Express, if you're sending many packages/envelopes to a single stop, ship one priority overnight and the rest standard. They'll be delivered together with the priority package. If a medical professional ever suggests you get a second opinion, e.g. a nurse at the doctor's office, it can be code for they are concerned about the quality of the medical care you are currently receiving, and that you really should get that second opinion. In the United States, movie theaters spend more money on the bags for popcorn than the popcorn itself. Even if that's true, that does not justify me paying $8 for a medium popcorn. Like, come on. And just like that, we've come to the end of these questions. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, my name's been Brandon, and I will see you in another one. Bye!